Is it started?
It started. There's sounds of you breathing into the microphone.
Yeah. I'll tell you what actually happened. I actually listened to our podcast randomly during the weekend.
No, you didn't.
And realized that.
That didn't happen.
Why do you think I just made this whole situation?
Okay, no. We're not going to inception. We're going to just say what it is. We just found out because neither of us know how to use a computer or this nice equipment that we were able to purchase thanks to the 3 Patreon people that we had supporting us over the last year. It has now been up a little bit more. So let's shout those people out real quick.
No chicken.
Wow. Okay, you did it. You did do it. And then we have a couple people on the lower tiers, but I just want to say, like, we were able to buy new podcast equipment. However, we don't know how to use it.
So I'm in either your right or your left ear. If I'm in your left ear, then you're gay. No, if I'm in your right ear, then you're a bender. Left-handed people are the best.
Okay, well.
But yeah, so we're going to be in either ear. So, I mean, that's kind of your problem. So if you're in a working situation like I am, sometimes we can only listen to one headphone, then you really got to pick who you prefer.
Yeah.
And if it's me, it's going to be a lot of long silences. And there'll be jokes for no reason that will make absolutely no sense.
And if it's
but I can assure you it will be racist and sexist.
And for me, it's just going to be a lot of squawking, maybe some crying. You know, I am getting more emotional in my old age. So, you know, we're going to put a little
It's almost 2 podcasts if you think about it.
It really is. And what we're going to do...
We might try and fix it. But you probably just listen with 2 headphones.
Yeah, I mean, well, what's going to happen is if I can figure out how to do it, because I know people do set goals on their Patreon pages, and, you know, I barely know how to run ours. So I'm going to set a goal. And what do you think the goal should be? Like, there has to be a goal. If any of these people who listen to this podcast, because they do listen...
A lot of people, if they do listen, they probably are like, those absolute... Gaytards don't understand.
Really? It's fucking Pride Month. You can't just reel
No,
it's
a different thing.
Christ. Okay.
I can't believe it's still May. No, it's June. A lot of people are going to be like, they don't know basic technology because this is This is probably an easy fix. But like in my defense, I was in what's it called? See, I can't even remember what it's called.
Wow, this is.
It begins with an R, and it's not the bad R word, but it should be class.
I don't know what
remedial
that means.
Class, not.
Okay.
Well, the other kids call it retard class. But so I don't really understand. So basically, we need to. I don't.
The point is I'm going to set a goal. If I can figure out how to set a goal on Patreon, I think a fair goal. What should it be that we get? How much is a producer? I mean, a good producer, somebody to sit here and go through our mechanical issues and make sure that there's videos coming out and shit like that. You know what I mean? Shit that like the fucking people want. A good producer, what is like, you know, $200 a month or something? What do you say?
That's $50 a podcast. But maybe we do $200 a month. Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah, $200 a month.
No, probably more. Let's do 3. So we're gonna set a goal, and if we somehow, by the grace of Satan's dick, get $300 American, which isn't even that much money anymore, $300 American dollars a month. We're going to set a little goal. If we do that, somebody will fix this fucking podcast. So it can be listenable, and there'll be more videos and all that shit that everybody likes to jack off.
Other than that, you can just listen to each headphone. You can just have, fucking in your right side of your head and your left side of your head.
Yeah,
whatever.
I mean, this is...
But yeah, we need a nerd. We need to pay a fucking geek.
4 minutes on
You can't bully someone into doing this. Unless you have information on them.
How to use the internet. Yeah, so we don't get it, and you know what? No amount of learning. Like I've passed the stage where I'm gonna figure this stuff out in life. Like I am not this person. I don't even want to talk about the absolute near meltdown I had the other day. Trying to make an Instagram reel. I basically, I used to smoke meth. I managed a BDSM dungeon.
I've heard that before.
I was sent to a therapeutic boarding school when I was 15 after I ran away for 10 days to Chico, California, and then survived 6 weeks in the wilderness at one of these facilities, and then sent to a therapeutic boarding school where I survived institutionalized abuse of children, but a fucking Instagram reel.
But no sexual abuse, was there? There's no good.
No, there is. I was lucky. I wasn't sexually abused.
So
there.
she got none of the good stuff, but still.
Yep.
You know.
And now, it's going to be trying to use technology, trying to make an Instagram reel for 4 people who don't even actually watch it.
Yeah, you gotta get on the TikTok. I'm gonna get on the TikTok.
Yeah,
I was thinking of a page where I take videos of just children in the streets.
What are you doing?
No, because people have pages on Instagram where they just take pictures of dogs, that are waiting outside cafes or outside the supermarket, and they're like, pictures of dogs, out in the street. So you take pictures of people's kids, because I think it would just get a lot of. I was basically thinking about, is that pedophilic or
this is a bomb?
Could I have a no? Because you can just because people take pictures of dogs. I don't want to take pictures of kids.
I'm like sitting here and I'm like, so what? Is this a passion?
I don't know. I was just thinking about what kind of TikToker I want to be.
You're just trying to figure out how to make us some money, which is fair because we are still in a lockdown. We are. Did you know that we are still technically in a lockdown? It's pretty crazy. Still spending way too much time on the internet, I'm finding. I don't know about you.
No, not since I got vaccinated. What I really do now is just I fuck around with the calculator for about 4 or 5 hours.
We don't even own a calculator. We don't even.
Or am I hiding it from you?
Oh, what is this?
Well, if
why
you obviously haven't found my full copybooks of mathematical theories that have just been coming out
with your cum.
No.
The pages are sticky.
No, don't be crude. As in mathematical theories I've been just coming up with since I got my vaccination. Like theorems. Do you know what a theorem is?
Why don't you enlighten me?
Give me 2 numbers. I'll multiply them in my head.
46 and 129.
4,822. 4,822.
That's you know what's so ridiculous about this?
Give me another one.
Is that
I
am so bad at math that I'm like, you could be right.
Just give me another one.
You could be right. Okay, fine. Here's another. It's going to be 45 minutes of me giving you numbers and you making up a new number that they allegedly equal. Okay, how about 4,796 and 25? That's pretty easy. Nobody can see.
So it's 109,422.
You're full of shit, and
ever since I got my Pfizer.
I don't even know. Maybe you're not full of shit. I really don't know. I'm bad at math. That was the thing that happened to me. When I moved from Reno to California, so I was actually very good at math. I was so good at math in 3rd grade.
Doesn't sound it.
These are my no, 3rd grade. Okay, give me a break. I was me and my little best friend in 3rd grade. His name was Paul Miyazaki. Okay, what was that about?
Is he a wop?
I am not releasing you. What is your problem?
No, you're allowed to say things about that.
Absolutely not. Oh, an Italian. Well,
it's an Italian? What did you think I said?
I don't know. Well, because we were talking about Paul, and I know he's Asian, and then you said a racial slur that I guess is okay, which it's not okay. It's not okay.
An Asian slur is never okay, but an Italian slur is always okay. So sorry. So is he a wop?
No.
Without papers.
Without papers, is that what that stands for?
Yeah.
Paul Miyazaki.
You see, Miyazaki
I need to stop
almost.
Saying he's Japanese.
Yeah, Miyazaki almost sounds Italian, though.
Not what? I'm not arguing this with you. There's no way Miyazaki sounds Italian.
What did you think I said when I said "wow"?
I thought we were. You said I don't.
I mean, the Japanese slur is another 3-letter word.
God damn you! No, I don't. You just made me think of it, and I don't want to think of it. This is not where I was going with this. I wanted to talk about being in 3rd grade and being good at math, and you just have to turn everything so fucking dirty all the time.
Was Paul's parents in Japan during the 2nd World War? Or were they in America?
Don't know. What I do know is Paul and I used to race on our math tests. That's how good I was at math. We would race, and we raced so much that the teacher had to separate our desks and say that we couldn't sit next to each other during the math test
so you
anymore.
Were fucking nerds.
Yeah, but then I moved from Reno to California, and I was in 4th grade at that time.
Which is, what age does that make you?
I don't remember.
A lot of listeners won't understand this grade situation.
10-ish, 9, 10, something like that.
Interesting.
But the thing is the California schools were behind the Nevada schools. So they ended up skipping me a grade halfway through the school year.
So you got...
So basically, I was in 4th grade for half a year and then 5th grade for half a year. So I missed a whole chunk of, like, pretty serious, like, remedial math. Like, I basically missed portions of multiplication, I think, and division. So then all of a sudden, I, like, was bad at math. I just, like, didn't know what to do. And I went on to be so bad at math for the rest of my fucking life.
Maths.
I still... Add on my fingers.
There's more than one number.
Maths. Okay, well, we call it math as an all-encompassing...
I think that's correct.
...whole.
Yeah, we call it English.
Okay, I don't know. That's a different subject, but...
Is it?
I mean...
We're talking about the actual maths, but we're talking about there's an extra letter and you're calling it math. Like, there's a person, a math. Anyway, continue on with your story about you and Paul being the biggest geeks ever that you had to jump ahead a year.
Yeah, well, that's how good I was at math at that time. But this is how bad I turned. And I'm not gonna name this teacher, and I'm not gonna name the school because, as far as I'm concerned, he did me an excellent favor. I see your eyes lighting up. You're looking for the joke. Nothing bad happened.
When did you name the teacher at school?
Because I'll explain why. So after I got sent away, so I ran away from home, and then I got sent to this like horrific place that, you know, abused me and everybody else there, and I'm really, like,
not
sounding off about
though.
that now. No, some people were sexually abused.
But
I
Katharyn,
was not sexually abused.
Katharyn, just so people don't think my wife is damaged.
Wow, you are a little... You're being a little cunt, aren't you? That's... Okay, so...
That's a joke. This is a comedy podcast.
Okay, and so... I don't know. I guess I am a little fragile about this about this particular topic right now because I've actually coming to terms with the amount of abuse that was, you know, that happened to everybody there, and being that we were all underage children and these places are still open.
Children
and still
are always
operating.
underage. Children are always underage.
Okay, fair. Thank you, officer. Okay.
No, that's like fucking. That's like something. Yeah.
But anyway, the places still exist. They're still open. If you're interested, Paris Hilton got sent to one. I know everybody's like, oh, why do I feel bad for her? But the point is like they market to people with money. And so even somebody like Paris Hilton with billions and billions and billions of dollars was not immune to abuse, which then goes on to explain a lot of, like, you know, stuff that she went on to do, as well as, like, horrible things she's been through. Like, so,
yeah. And her DJing's meant to be pretty bad, so maybe
there's that. But, you know, we all got to express ourselves in our own ways, especially if we've been through trauma.
I mean, she's self-made.
Which we've all been through.
Paris, and she's self-made, fucking started from the bottom. Now she's, well, I don't know where she is now, but...
I mean,
oh, no, I don't know.
She's one of the Hiltons. She didn't start from the bottom. She was born into an empire. But, I mean... I digress. The point is these places, they exist. They're still open. They're still abusing kids. So if I'm a little about it, I think, you know, I have every fucking right to be.
Back to this maths quest we can't seem to finish.
The math teacher, so basically, I got sent away, I got out, whatever. I had to go through this whole process. I basically ended up going to the type of high school. Like the high school I graduated from was the high school that kids go to if they are quote-unquote bad or pregnant or whatever, right? Like they work around your schedule. You just go to school a couple days a week, right? So... I went to this school, and I really had a nice time there. I really liked all my teachers. You know, I went like 2 or 3 days a week. And I had this math teacher that basically, so it's like, you know, you're in a classroom. There's other kids with other teachers, but it's not like, you know, like a class. It's not like your standard, like how you imagine school being. So during my math lesson, all I did was crack jokes, basically. I just, like, held court.
Well, because you were already so far ahead.
No, it's just I got on with the teacher, and we laughed, and the other people in the room laughed, and we would just talk. And I think it was one of those human relationships between a teacher and a kid. Like, I always loved going to that class because it was fun to have fun. And we didn't do fucking anything, right? I had to do these worksheets. He'd be like, all right, let's get back to the worksheet. But then, you know, we like never did. And and you know what? I need to say, like, you know, because people might be like, he's a bad teacher. But like for what I had just gone through, like in that place, I needed something like that. Like a nice male figure adult who was kind, non-abusive, and chill. And like, do you know what I mean? Like, so I forever like look at this as like an incredibly positive experience because at the end of the day, I was never going to learn how to fucking do math. Okay. And I think he saw that. I missed the boat somewhere back in, between third and fifth grade when they moved me up halfway through. So like when the half semester came around, right? I had to go to like a counselor. You go to the counselor and you register for your spring courses. And this is my senior year, right? So
what's that mean? Your last year?
So it's my last year.
Do you have to do an exam?
No, well, maybe you normally do, but I didn't. So basically, I was a senior in Algebra 1, which is basically like you are the stupidest senior on the fucking planet. Like Algebra 1 is what freshmen were in. And I just was not getting math. Like you're supposed to do Algebra 1, maths, and then like geometry excuse me, hold on. I'm wrong. I was a senior in geometry, which meant I had just
I don't know the difference between them, so it doesn't matter.
The point,
I do. Since I've been vaccinated, I know all the differences between them.
That's what I mean. Hello. I'm testing you. This is a fucking test about your spectrum. I was a senior in geometry, so it goes Algebra 1, geometry, then Algebra 2. And you need at least Algebra 2 to graduate from fucking high school, And so I was in geometry as a senior. We weren't doing any of these worksheets. I go to meet with my school counselor, and they're like, okay, so, it's your last semester. Like, here we go. Here are the classes you're in, honors English, because I was good at English, whatever. And then she was like, and second semester, Algebra 2. And I was like, I'm not in Algebra 2. Like, so of course I don't say this to the woman. I'm like thinking, I'm not in Algebra 2. I'm in geometry. So I go.
What's the fucking I mean, I know the difference, but will you explain to the people what the difference is between them?
Geometry
one circles, one triangles is what people probably think.
No, geometry is triangles. Yeah. See, I thought you're
algebra,
the math genius now.
Algebra is triangles.
No, geometry is triangles.
No. I think your Pfizer went the wrong way.
Okay, all right. I'm not going to. I don't even know what Algebra 2 is. I don't even know what Algebra 2 is, and I'm never going to. That's
algebra is Greek. It's Greek for a triangle.
The whole point is like I've never needed Algebra 2 ever in my fucking life. Not even once, not even for a second, okay? Nor geometry. Maybe geometry I've hung a shelf, but like
no, geometry is like roundabouts.
I'm not going to argue this insanity with you right now.
Anyway, so you failed maths for life, is that what you're saying?
No. So this is what happened.
So long.
Well, you keep interrupting with whatever your fucking new autism is, so you shut the fuck up and let me finish. I'll land the airplane right now.
It's called Pfizer.
I'll land the airplane right now, okay? So I see my teacher, Mr. whatever his name is. He has a hilarious name, but I don't want to say it. I'll tell you after. Or if we get up to 300 Patreon subscribers or whatever, $300, I'll fucking say what his name is. I go up to him and I'm like, hey, because I was like, you put me in Algebra 2, for second semester. And he was like, you're not in Algebra 2? And I was like, no. And he's like, but you're a senior. And I was like, yeah. But I was like, but I'm in geometry because that's where I'm at. I never. And he was like, what are you going to do about Algebra 2? And I was going to have to go to summer school. I was like, well, I think I'm going to have to go to summer school.
That's not cool.
And he was like, well, what's this going to look like on your college applications? And I was like, well, it's going to basically be like my math is this and I'm in summer school for it. And he was like, okay, he's like, I need 10 minutes. He got really stressed out. He was like, I need 10 minutes. And he met me in a class. He was like, meet me in this classroom in 10 minutes. And he was like, all right. So he's like, I didn't realize you were not in Algebra 2 or that you're in geometry. And I was like, yeah. And he was like, and you're going to have to take summer school. He was like, so if you were in Algebra 2 now as a senior, that would be better for you for going to college.
I'm sorry.
You know what? This is actually a fucking nice story. You piece of shit. You
I'm
know what? Whoever that Peruvian man was right about you. He was right about you.
No.
He was right about you. No. You heard it here first.
What the fuck am I meant to do? I didn't do it by purpose.
What a dick. You know what? I don't even want to finish the story.
Finish it.
I don't want you to
I know what he
hear
did.
the end.
He forged. Did he do a forgery?
He didn't forge anything. He basically just said, he in front of me, a 17-year-old who I also at this time was smoking meth. Not to, I guess lighten the load, but I was dabbling in the dark arts at that point. I think. It doesn't matter. he basically was like, so it's better for you if you're in algebra 2. And I was like, yeah. And he like looked down and he was like, am I okay with this? And he was like, I think I'm okay with this. He was like, are you okay with this? And I was like, sir, I took my mom's credit card to try to get a free iPod off the internet for a whole pyramid scheme. I'm definitely okay with this. And he was like, all right, but we're gonna work really hard next semester and you're gonna learn algebra 2. So he gave me a B+ in algebra 2 for first semester, a B- in second semester. We didn't work harder. He just helped me with the worksheets, and I went to liberal arts college, so I never needed to know a single fucking thing.
Problem with the American educational system.
Yes, it is.
Is that teachers are cheating their students by not teaching them important things like algebra.
You're a fucking. You don't even know what it
whatever
is.
the fuck that is.
You with your new knowledge. What's algebra 2? Tell me what it is. Tell me what it is right now.
Fucking sequel to algebra 1, you dope.
Okay. So anyway, I think that teacher's a saint because I was never going to be a fucking engineer. I don't know how to add 14 and 7 together without using my fingers.
21. Obviously, I know all this because of my Pfizer.
That was very easy, actually. Well, okay, how about 42 and 5 million point 6? You're like
400 million.
We're not. This is the last time we're doing this. It's not even funny anymore.
100,876.
It's ceased to be funny.
9, 6,
the joke is over.
0.4.
It was never a joke to begin with. It's just sad.
Because I was in past maths, which is I don't know what that is. Past maths.
I don't know what that is.
There's honors maths, there's past maths, and then there's foundation maths. That's for someone who hasn't been diagnosed with actual, Down syndrome.
Well, then I was in foundation maths forever.
No, you wouldn't have been. I mean, maybe you would have been. That is.
Don't threaten me.
That's addition.
That's a challenge, dude. Yeah, I mean,
addition and subtracting, and maybe a long division. You're allowed to use a calculator.
I don't know how to do long division.
I can't either, but that's because of phones. I mean, I can obviously.
Well, yeah, and nobody are they even teaching this shit in school anymore?
No, they shouldn't do it. They should teach you with a TikTok.
Yeah, they honestly that actually would probably do better for business than teaching a child actual math.
They should just teach the Asian kids maths, and they should teach
the Asian kids. Who is that?
The Asian kids, the ones that are good at maths.
Oh, here we go. I knew it was going to come back.
And then they should teach the athletic kids sports. I don't know who I'm talking about there.
Who are you talking about?
And then they should just teach all the chicks fucking OnlyFans, because that's what. Wow, that's it.
Unbelievable.
That's how you got to make your money these days.
Well, why aren't you on there swinging your dick around? Okay.
No,
making a pretty
penny.
Now
that we mentioned that, I was at an open mic the other night, and some dashing young man was talking about being on OnlyFans.
Oh yeah, that's
he records himself bloody masturbating and sends it to.
I mean, what do you think OnlyFans older is?
I found it so. I was so disgusted. I was fucking disgusted. And if it was a female, I wouldn't really give a shit.
I know this is
for some reason.
Not to be this person, but isn't that this straight white male perspective?
Nah, chicks if you're a good-looking chick, I guess you can just do that. I mean, you mightn't have money or options. It's easy, but this guy was like, there's something so shit. Because I guess he was a straight whiter. No, SW.
Okay.
An SWM. I think he was an SWM anyway, but. Yeah, he's gay for pay, I guess, isn't it?
Well, yeah, and what is your problem with that? This affects your.
It's not me.
I don't actually think you have a problem.
It's the good book.
Oh, give me a break. I don't think you have a problem with what he's doing. I think you just didn't like that guy. I think it's about that guy. You just don't like that guy.
Maybe that's
because let's think of it this way. Let's think of one.
Actually, no, I just thought about anyone else doing that. It's funny, and I think it's cool. So
yeah. You don't actually. You're not an old.
That's how prejudice works, isn't it? You
absolutely. Absolutely.
You see one person, and then you expect everyone else to be.
Yes. So you did it. You solved it.
For a second there, I hated all straight white males that would take part in whoring themselves out on the internet. But no, I think you go queen or king.
Well, get on it.
Do it. I'm not going to do that.
Why not? No, I don't really want you to do it. You and I don't have. I mean, I might have ADHD. It keeps popping up in conversation, like casually with people, where they're like, "I was diagnosed," and then they're like, "Have you thought?" And I'm like, "Maybe," but then aren't we all? Like, I swear to God.
Well, I got the vaccine, so I got autism. Is that what it's called? Autism. I believe that's what it's called. Autism. Before I got the vaccine, I had. No, I had.
Jesus Christ.
No, I have
so
something.
Offensive.
Dyslexia.
That
that
checks out. Actually, no, you had you.
No, I have. Oh, I have. It might have been cured for the vaccine. I haven't really
absolutely has
tried
not.
to spell yet.
Well, you and I we don't text too much.
No, but did you see the last message I sent today to that guy?
No, but you did. You become more Irish in message.
But the spelling goes wrong.
Maybe that's why he didn't tell us what time his birthday party was.
Yeah, and I got disinvited to a birthday party because I fucking don't know my ABCs.
An outdoor birthday party. It's raining, Mark. It's raining,
that's
Mark.
Why he didn't message. Which I kind of wait. I'm just checking. No, he didn't message.
I know. See, you are actually a very sensitive person. You're, whether you want to believe it or not.
No, I'm pretty hard.
Okay.
Tough.
Yeah, very convincing.
Tough guy. So maybe you should shut your fucking mouth because when this podcast is over, someone's getting a black eye.
It's gonna be you. I think if anybody had to place their bets on which one of us, I bet I'm the abuser.
I mean, I'm afraid to answer that question.
Okay.
What are we talking about? Did I got special powers since I got vaccinated?
No, you keep bringing it up, and I think you really want to make it happen. So unless you got some slam bang, zinger, ringer.
I could not believe how beautiful the London Underground map is. I was staring at it for about 3 hours.
Still bad.
I was just jizzing in my pants for 2 or 3 hours.
I
can't believe Vauxhall connects to Surrey, and I can't.
Don't do this on stage. Don't do this on stage.
I had a joke. I wrote. I haven't tried it yet, and at the open mics.
All right, let's hear it.
I don't like people of color. I don't. Wait, everyone's looking a bit nervous.
There's nobody here.
I don't like the term people of color. Of course, I love people of color. I don't like the way. I think we're all just people, Because if it's people of color and people, that's two different people. And anyway, if you think about it, if it's about the majority is people and then the minority is the descriptor, it really should be people and people of round eyes. I mean, it needs some work, but on a global scale, most people are Chinese. So
what a bad joke! I'm sorry.
Why
do you want to be this person? I will never know. But be you. I support you. That made honestly. Can I be fully honest? That joke is so bad that in where I'm at right now, you're looking at me like you feel so hurt. I can't.
I don't. I know.
Okay, but it's made
what
me.
What I'm hearing is you need to cut a few words out for sure.
It's made me have to shit immediately. My body wants to expel whatever I have left inside of it.
I mean,
we need to put this on pause. I'm not even kidding.
Oh, you're gonna shit my pants.
Okay, so.
Yeah, we're back on. Katharyn forgot she took LSD earlier and she has diarrhea now.
Okay, that's not exactly what's happening.
Oh, sorry, it's legal LSD. There's an extra compound in it so you can get it through the post.
Yes, so, well, I guess you might as well explain it. This is news to me, but apparently there are things called research chemicals, and different ones are legal in different places, and until July 7th, there is one...
Yeah, we bought enough of it anyway until whatever day it's illegal, it's going to be gone by then. if the cops
difficult.
Cops are listening in, the police. How about stop killing colored folks?
Yeah, there we go. Be the change you want to see.
Change yourself. I might take one and see if it kicks in before the end of this podcast.
It won't.
Because a lot of these podcasts have been done on tranquilizers, so
we don't. Why do we need to tell all of our secrets? Do we have anything?
No,
not
a lot of them at all. Just a few of them. I'm trying to be cool in front of the folks.
Oh, nobody's here.
The folks at home. The folks at home.
The folks at home. Okay.
What?
You know not to swallow it, right?
Hmm? Okay, you said that. I just stopped.
You keep it on your tongue.
You put it on the top of your teeth if you want. You get your teeth nice.
All right, this doesn't even need to. This is not.
You get your real trippy teeth.
Okay. Well, what else did you want to say on this? I can remember the thing I wanted to bring up, but it's sort of depressing.
Well, I wrote out a lot of ideas about this podcast.
Oh, great.
Vaccine powers, which
we've covered that. We've covered that. I'm over it.
I wonder if the people at home are interested in the fact that we have a new visitor. We got someone living in our apartment, a new tenant, as you would. Do you want to take off? Should I take over, or should I keep on?
No, because you're the one who has the fascination. I told you one night when I could not sleep, I said, we have a mouse. It was the night that I was freaking out over making an Instagram reel. It's not the reel, it's just the whole social media and like wanting to get your stuff out there, and how will you do that unless you figure out how to use a thing that you don't want to use? It feels like it sucks so much of your life away when I'd rather be out living it.
No, we have a mouse, is what she's trying to say.
I saw the mouse.
So we have a little mouse moved in.
But now you're like, you've named it. You named it. You named it twice. You named it, and then you tried to change its name, and then I was like...
Well, I named it Derek first, and I thought that was basic, so then I named it...
I have a very good friend named Derek, and he's gay.
And the mouse looks straight to me. So I named it Paul Pot. After
Paul Pot.
The famous Marxist.
And I was like, I think it should be named Derek Paul Pot, because that rings true to me.
Yeah, so, there's hints of a gay man, and there's also hints of a Cambodian genocide.
And you think it's one mouse, but I believe it is more than one mouse, because in my mice experience, one is many. It's just, that's the way it is.
They reproduce
every 21 days or something?
Excellently.
Or at least that's rats. Rats do 21 days. Mice might even be faster.
Yeah. Excellently.
Horrendous.
They reproduce excellently. I was trying to say another word.
I've had mice...
Exponentially, sorry.
Twice, in a way that made an impact on my life. And neither time, like, I'll put it this way, I feel so bad for animals and shit like that, but, like, the second time, it was a nightmare. It was a nightmare. I lived in this apartment 5 years, and, like, in the final months, it was just
if you name them, it humanizes them. That's the problem we have.
No, there were too many to name. The problem we have
with rodents is we're dehumanizing them. We're not seeing them for the people they are.
They're
not exactly people, but I think animals and people should be treated the
same.
It
was horrendous.
If you name the mouse, you treat him as a roommate.
There was mouse shit every morning when I woke up, and like
I forgot
FYI, I was like not cooking in my kitchen because I didn't have time. So there was no food being prepared in this house, but they were there because I had neighbors that were like super filthy. And just tons of kids, and there was food everywhere. Filthy ones.
Where are they from?
I'm not doing that. It doesn't matter. There was food and children and everywhere.
Oh, I know what you're
saying.
And
the building itself was like falling apart.
I hear you loud and clear, buddy.
And they've since ripped it up and built a new thing and are trying to sell them. And I would actually happily buy my old apartment back if I had the money.
She's talking about bloody Trump supporters, probably from the Appalachians.
I don't know what you're saying anymore. It's like you're the one on drugs now, which is not the case.
I'm just trying to figure out your culture, you know what I mean? You hate mice and your neighbors are of the wrong...
Well, they were in my oven. They were fucking living in my oven. So I hate those sticky traps.
Just turn them fucking on? Turn the oven on?
No, they loved it. It made it warm and gushy and whatever, and they made...
that would kill them. Ask Sylvia.
Nope. And they made nests in the fucking foam shit, like the insulation in the oven. It was ridiculous. Like, I could lift my oven hood and there was just mouse shit everywhere. So I had to put traps under my oven hood. I put traps everywhere around my fridge. I started with the humane ones, right? One night I got home, middle of the night from a comedy show, walked my dog. I cannot believe the type of schedule I used to keep. Had to get up in 3 hours to go back to my day job. And I'm like laying in bed trying to sleep, can't, because my childhood trauma. And I hear the trap go off, but then I hear the mouse like continuing to make a noise.
A death rattle.
No, it didn't die. It caught its head at a point where the mouse was still alive for way too long. This one I threw out the window, hoping the impact of it hitting the ground from the 4th floor would kill it.
That wasn't going to kill it.
Well, you know what? Don't look at me like that, because I've since had to hammer more than one mouse.
Like hammer?
Because I had so many mice. It was so fucked up, Mark. Like I
would never do that.
I had them on I had to get those sticky traps, and I had to put them out of their misery. I wasn't going to let them die on the trap, so I would cry. I sobbed the whole I'd be doing this in the middle of the night. So I'd go to my day job, then go, ha ha, who wants to see a comedy show? Bark for people who didn't respect me and treated me like shit for 6 minutes of stage time to 4 people. And then I would ride the train home, walk my dog, get in the shower, try to sleep.
Genocide a family of mice.
And then I'd hear them, and then I'd have to kill a mouse in the middle of the night with a fucking hammer while weeping, then get 1.5 hours of sleep and wake up and do it all over again. Okay?
You sound like Pol Pot.
Fuck you. And it was miserable. It was miserable. And so my point is I don't want that to happen here. I don't want that to happen here. You have come up with some, like, insane idea that you're going to be able to catch this mouse with a box and some nuts. Whatever.
Well, it's pretty easy strategy if people care to listen.
Yeah, this is out of a cartoon. Go on.
Oh, I'm going to put actually, my original idea was I was going to put a box and a stick with string. I think everyone knows that concept. Do you know what I'm talking about? I'll describe it. So you get a box, you put a stick under one side of it, and then you put cheese under the middle. You tie string to the stick. When the rodent, mouse in this case, goes under the box, you pull the string, box falls, the mouse is in captivity, and we can free it.
But what do you do from there? What do you do from there? Like, how do you...
Bit of cardboard underneath. You slide the cardboard underneath.
Wow, so many supplies, arts and crafts.
But now I just realized that I could actually just put a box normally... just an empty box, and then just put the tongue down to the floor, like a little Amazon box. We have loads of them.
Like a ramp.
And there's a ramp, and, mice, they love food, don't we all? And he'll climb up the ramp and fall into the box to get the food.
Yeah, but he might see the mice are smarter than you think. He might see the fall and go, nah, this is a trap. Mice, and especially rats.
I've been Googling it today, and it's an absolute misconception that they understand about traps.
Well, rats do.
Rats are different.
Did I hear a mouse just now?
I heard a squeak.
You heard the squeak? I heard a squeak too. Mother of God. I'm telling you, there was more than one mouse.
I'm not really bothered by their existence. I don't know.
I am, because...
I know, Pol Pot was bothered by... he's bothered by the intellectuals in the cities.
I had a stack of hats one time. Hats, like wool hats. The mice, baby mice were born in those hats.
That's disgusting.
Thank you.
Cute.
Fine, very cute, but covered in mouse shit, piss. The hats are ruined. Like, that's what's happening when mice are running
above life. Fashion above life.
This
is a problem.
It's the way you wish you could live. When they're running around, they're just shitting and pissing willy nilly. They don't care. It doesn't matter where they are. They're in public. Like, he sees you, he gets scared, he takes a shit. Okay, that's what happens.
Adorable.
Am a relatively disgusting person. Filth is not something like I've eaten a lot of dirt. I live in the wilderness. Whatever. Like, I've tasted my own cum. Like,
that's pretty gross.
That it is not
gross.
gross.
We need to edit that out because I really want to move this from a Christian kind of like.
The point is like the mice. There's a lot of gross shit I've done for sure, and the mice all over the house, or even just the kitchen. I don't think they're in the house. Why would they be? We have nothing. Well, who knows? Let's not tempt them.
I had mice in Australia, and I just named them instead of worrying about them.
Dude, Australia has a serious mouse problem right now, and that, like, when I see that, I'm like, like that actually is making me physically.
I was talking about it the other day. I was telling someone about it, like the French guys, because I don't know if they understood what I was saying because of the accent and the language barrier. But then 5 minutes later, I'm scrolling through my phone, and the videos are coming up of the mouse problem. So. I guess that's my phone's listening to me. We've been over this before.
Yeah, I mean, this is nothing new.
Listen all you want. I know who's listening, by the way. The CCP.
I don't even know what that is.
Of course you don't. Anyway.
Okay.
Anyway, so I'm gonna
kill the momentum.
I'm gonna catch the mouse. I'm gonna release it into the wilds.
Yeah.
Where he belongs, and no one's brain's gonna have to get smashed anywhere. I know your bloodthirst. It's probably
my
overwhelmed.
I resent that. I also
you do love animals, but like you love specific animals, which is
that's not true. I feel.
Oh, you like all animals the same.
I take no joy in the fact that I have to kill the mouse, but it's like at a point I'm like, is it the mouse or me? Do I get to just live like this?
Okay, what?
Like, no, like,
so,
check this out. How about this?
What if the other night when you were sitting here doing your freak out on Instagram, and instead of a mouse crawled out under the bloody fridge, it was a bloody puppy crawled out. Would you hit it with a hammer? I think not. So there's no equality there in the animal kingdom.
Puppy is not going to crawl out from under the refrigerator.
We have to see all people as the same, and we have to see all animals as the same.
Okay, here's one for you. So when I was working in that antique store in New York, I was at the end of my day, and I could hear this tiny, tiny little sound. And I was like, where is that coming from? And then I found what was the babiest of baby mice I've ever seen. It was gross to look at. It was like, it had no hair. It was pink.
Yeah.
And I found it. I couldn't figure it out. It had like maybe fallen from the ceiling. How it was where it was. It was in like this antique, like silver fucking bowl or some shit. Mm. And I was like looking around, and I'm like, this mouse, the only humane thing to do to that mouse, I could either let it, and I Googled this at the time, but like, I can let it sit there, crying, hungry, afraid. The mother might not come back. If it fell out of the ceiling, there was no way it was gonna, because like that was the only way it could have gotten in that bowl, period. And so I had to kill it. Mm-hmm. And I put it in a bag, and I went out to the sidewalk, and I cried the whole time, and I smashed it with my foot, and I, set a little like moment for it to know God, because there is none, and I then put it in the trash.
Rouge cried a little bit when they did their first.
Don't you do this to me.
The first killings in the field.
They got numb to it. Okay, well,
it's
not the best point to argue right now.
I don't want to make you feel bad about that.
Well, I do. I still remember that sad moment. It was like a fucking Friday too.
What did you do? You put it in a bag and you jumped on it a few times.
I didn't jump on it with joy.
Dance on it?
Oh, Christ. Well, this leads me to this. Fine, I am going to bring this up. No, I'm going to bring this up.
No, I'm just going to say what I had a similar situation recently, and it's just, I know you know about it when I was working tree surgery, and let's just say we nipped a nest of squirrels. They fell out of the tree. There was about 5 of them. They were pink, squirming around, looked disgusting, pathetic, but also I recognized their life. And we put the nest back together. We put it back in the tree. The tree just been cut now. Okay. Because I just couldn't. What I couldn't do is put them in a bag and bring them to the street and do some sort of break dance on them.
It's a completely different situation.
You're in the background.
You're dealing with a tree directly. I'm in the basement of an antique store that's been here for like 300 years. There's no way to locate the mouse's family, where it even originated from in the store. It could have just appeared in the bowl for all I know.
We both live in reality. That doesn't happen. Fine.
It wasn't dropped. The mouse mommy wasn't like walking around with it and then like dropped it in the bowl. It had to have come from the ceiling. There was nothing I could do about it. You're literally on your cell phone right now, unless it's that mouse calling you.
No, it's the birthday party's been changed to a flat.
Well, we're in the middle of recording a podcast. Can we wrap this part?
Oh yeah.
up?
So what I was basically saying,
Mr. Popular. Okay.
That baby mouse, you could have just left it where it was. The mother would find it. It's making a crying noise.
It came out of the ceiling. Mm-hmm. There was no way the mouse mom was going to get into the get out of the ceiling and get into a bowl. Like, your very plan to catch the mouse in the house here. That mouse would have had to.
Mouse in the house, you trying to be a bloody rapper or something?
That mouse would have had to have worked its way out of. Like, what I'm saying is, there's no way a mouse could have made it out of the ceiling, through the store, into a bowl to pick up its baby that it probably doesn't even realize it lost.
Why would you take it out of the bowl, put it beside of the bowl, and maybe the mom would? You're afraid that? Okay, I get where you're coming from.
It was crying. I read on the internet that it had a better chance of just like suffocate to death, starving to death, whatever. I was like, you know what? I would rather have it know for like less fear. It was crying and crying and crying. I'm like, you know what? I'm just goodbye. I mean, and Christ, and then it's not going to run around shitting all over my fucking house or the store or somebody else. And there's going to be more, and that is the cycle of life, and it's heartbreaking, but also the reality of things. And on that note,
we should name him.
The one I killed.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Quick, though.
We should. I guess the only name we can give it is a victim of Pol Pot, aka Katharyn, smashing mice with expensive,
that's a long name.
High heels.
Expensive heels.
Because fashion's more important in life.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Are we in a couples therapy session right now? Is that what's happening? I want to bring up something.
I'm just gonna have to catch this mouse before you do, basically.
Well, I second that. I agree.
Gods.
I agree. But here, then let's talk about life real quick. Let's talk about here on the note of life and all of this, because I did say to you the other day when we started to get into this, I was like, let's save this for the podcast. So I, in an attempt to add like more plants to a house that is crawling in them, I was on Facebook Marketplace because that's where I get everything. I get everything secondhand because we have no money. And I see that this woman is like, selling everything. And she's got all this cool stuff and plants. So I was like, how much are the plants? And she was like, 50 pounds for all of them, which was a really good deal. But not only do I not need all of them, I can't afford that and whatever. And I like go to her Facebook and I start clicking around because I'm just curious. And basically, she was like a teacher and whatever, and she hadn't seen her family in a few years, and because of COVID, and clearly was a really nice person and blah blah blah. And not like cloying, not one of these annoying internet people. You could just see like in her eyes, like she's like solid, basic but solid, and then you see the reason why she's selling all of her shit, and it's because her like 27-year-old brother like fell down and has like stage 4, some insane fucking version of cancer. You know what I mean? So I was like, and like he like, is like this white guy with dreads, which I know is like, hateable, but he looked like it was okay. You know what I mean? And he clearly looked like a nice kid. And I was like, this fucking sucks. So I was like, you know what? Here's 10 measly American dollars to your GoFundMe for your brother.
Oh yeah,
and
that would cure cancer.
Thank you. Yeah. And I was like, try to sell the plants to somebody else. Like, get what you can. Like, I've been there recently. I had to sell everything that I used to have in New York. Turns out she's from America, blah, blah, blah. And, and she was like, well, if you need anything. And I'm like, thank you. That's so nice. Like, maybe we'll like link up or whatever. But ever since I donated to this fucking GoFundMe, now I get updates about it. Right. And he's doing really like, and in fact, he seemed to be this like staple in the community. Like they had a whole fucking, weekend fundraiser and he was doing really well, and he was going to leave the hospital and this and that, and a few things happened here and there. But then suddenly, like the other day, it's like, there's some bleeding and now the chemo's not like happening, and they're going to transfer him to this other hospital and whatever. And she had to fly back there, and then, he's dead, and I don't even fucking know this person. I don't even know that lady. And I'm just like getting these updates, and I'm like crying in the middle of the night over like some kid that I don't know. I mean, for all I know, he Me Too'd somebody, but like, he's just, he's like gone now, like instantly, you know what I mean? And they were like, he was surrounded by his family and he knew how much he was loved. But I'm just like, wow, can you imagine being like 27 and one day you fall over and you're like, my life is ending now. Like, as I know it, everything I wanted to do or the places I wanted to go. Don't look at me. But I mean, it's really sad. But you started yelling. What did you do? You do what you did, because I was like, this is why we're going to talk about it on the podcast.
No. Like, I mean, it's all very emotional and that. But the birthday party tonight is actually someone who's 27. So.
Shut up.
So, no, I mean, we could celebrate his life by going to another 27-year-old's birthday party.
Yeah, no. Well, you were, like, saying, like, no, there's another way of looking at you. You made this whole argument the other day, and I was like, well, we'll argue about it on the podcast, like, in a fun way. Yeah. And now you seem to be backpedaling on that pretty hard all of a sudden.
I was just like, I don't see the point in getting sad about shit.
Well, no, but you were like...
I mean, if it's direct, I mean, yeah. You just shouldn't be online. That's your problem.
You shouldn't be.
You
had a whole slew of points the other day, which is the only reason I bring up this story that will make me cry every time. I do not know why.
We don't know. He could have been the next Pol Pot.
Yes, I know all of that. And like, it was just really sad. It was really sad to see them be like, he knew that he was our hero. And, like, do you know what I mean? This shit happens every day. So it's like, why am I, like, suddenly attached to these people? I mean, they're not my family. They, you know, and I feel so bad about it. And then, but I, like, said this to you, and then you said something. I can't even remember what you said, but I'm trying to get you to do whatever you were doing the other day, because I literally was like, let's put a pin in this for the podcast, and now you're just like, I want to go to a birthday party.
He might be in the same place where that fucking moose was. Whoever you slaughtered.
Okay. Oh, okay. Now, fine. If I need to be the bad guy at the end, I can be the bad guy. But no, you said...
We're all just mice to a bigger god, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Whether it be Katharyn with the high heel or a god with the cancer.
Okay, but what did you say? I mean, you were can you try to re-engage with the thought you had?
I do not store memories. I told you, ever since I got vaccinated, it's only maths.
Well... can solve that equation, then well, then I guess fine. I don't know, we can, like, have that discussion. It just I mean, yeah, it's gotta. Can you imagine, especially after the fucking year we had, and all of a sudden it's just like,
I mean, it sounds like a really bad joke, but
yeah.
you'd hear that,
well, that would mean it's not
I'm
a joke,
used to it.
right?
I go to some fucking bad open mics, so
oh yeah, well, you know what, fine then, if we want to end on a high note, Let's talk about my night last night. They don't know we're associated, and I won't.
Oh, yeah, take it away, Katharyn.
You said that like I'm gonna take away this open mic from you.
No, take it away as in like we're in a music studio and you're about to play a hit, and I'm like, take it away. Or is that what they say?
Okay. Well, you've done this gig a few times.
It's free wine at it, so...
There's free wine at it, so that should tell you...
It's a fucking good gig.
It sounds like an art show, which audience. I think is probably more
There's no audience, but there's free wine, and people have been saying some bloody insane shit on stage, so I'm all in.
You're one of them, and you're one of them.
No, there was a guy who pulled back his eyes. It was absolutely...
He pulled back his eyes?
Yeah, it was brilliant.
I cannot... No way.
Yeah, it's fucking...
Are you serious?
The joke made no sense.
Well, shock me.
Oh, no, he's only been doing comedy a bloody...
a decade.
Less than 20 sets. Fucking... you have to leave and figure it out yourself, like, you know what I mean?
Unbelievable.
He's Eastern European. They're different.
I don't. I still... Okay, fully. I'm not immersed in... I forget that I'm, like, not in America. I'm not in New York City. I do... In the last 24 hours, I've missed New York a lot. I've missed the people that I know. I miss just knowing how things work and being like, hey, man, you know, like, I don't know. It just, there's a lot of new stuff that I'm working with here. So it can be a little overwhelming, especially because I haven't seen anyone that I didn't meet in August 2019 for over a year now. I have not seen them in person.
Me neither, I don't know.
Well, okay, I guess we're in this together. But, yeah, it's what. No, I was going to try to argue with you, but then I couldn't.
No, it's great. Where's Great Portland Street? Is that close?
Can you not like put our destination in? Can we? Can you are so excited to be invited to something right now, and I will.
I don't even know if I want to go.
But yet you're staring at your phone. When we're almost finished recording a podcast. You have ADHD. And so do I.
I have dyslexia.
We've got it all, baby.
And also, I got Pfizer mats.
Okay, so just to land this ship, I guess on a high note, if that's what you can call it, I was booked to do a show at this place that you've done lots of shows.
Two.
Whatever.
I know my mats.
I've been there before when it belonged to somebody else, the show, and whatever. It doesn't matter at all. And I get there. I was booked via email. I've never met this person. We are not friends on the internet. I get to the venue 15 minutes after showtime because I'm historically late. And the venue has no idea what's fucking going on. They're like, oh, you can like sit and wait. Like nobody's come to open the room yet. Like that's what they said to me. And I was like, do you know if the show's happening? They were like, we don't know. Like they didn't know. And this bar is not packed. Like I understand. I came to learn that there was like a big football game on, but this bar is
soccer for the listeners in across the pond.
Right. So there's this big fucking game on. This bar is not packed. It's real. There's couples sitting around. Like This is not the bar you go to watch the game. It's not. This bar will not be trashed. It will look exactly the same regardless of who wins or loses. And I sit around. I email the person, and then I sit around for like another 30 minutes, and I message you, and you're like, are you sure? Go upstairs. And I'm like, I've been here before. The room. I'm like, how? I think I called you. I was like, how else can I tell you? It is locked. It is dark. It is empty. I cannot get in the room.
I'm trying to watch my fucking YouTube boxing knockout videos, and you're interrupting me with your fucking.
What is it? Wow. Is that what I sound like? Okay, you've taken it too far. Again, as usual. Shut up. Okay, so I'm sitting there, and I'm like, I know through you that I guess there's this like Telegram group. I don't even know what that is, but it's basically another app where you can group text. So I'm like, can you ask this Telegram group that you are like, because you're in it and you guys are all chatty. Will you?
I do not chat in it.
I know you don't chat, but they
just
know who you are.
I think I'm someone who chats in a bloody group.
But they know who you are.
I don't do WhatsApp groups. I don't do anything. Like
they acknowledge you. What I mean to say is like you are Mark.
No, I can ask a question in the group and someone might respond. That's
so I was like, can you find out if the show? Because I went up to the guy that I talked to right when I came in, and I was like, I was like, do you think it's happening? And he was like, normally there's comedians here by now. And I was like, yeah, I know what comedians look like. And there are no comedians here, because there's that sort of like slinking around like,
it's like people,
I have no money.
But instead of heads,
desperate.
Instead of heads, they have some sort of wheelchair contraption.
It's just, there's a comedians. They might as well have a sign, but they don't even need one. They are their own sign. And I was just like, I'm going to go. And he and I had like a good laugh about it. I was like, yeah, I think I'm just going to go. I was like, this is really unusual. Because he had no idea if the show was happening or not. The show could have happened, is what I mean to say. Like, they were like, kind of, I think almost being like, why isn't the show happening? Because there'd be at least more drinks maybe being sold, because it wasn't a place to watch the game. So I just, like, emailed this person. I'm like, I emailed them one time, like, being like, hey, I'm here. There's no show, but I'm going to wait because they don't know. And then I'm like, I'm going to leave because they don't know. I hope everything's okay. This is unusual. And then I get this email 3 hours later. I'm back in my apartment. 3 hours later, like, the show was canceled because of football. I put it on social media. That's all they said to me. And I was like, this is crazy. I mean, like, it made me laugh so hard because I was like, and then you told me like more about this person, and I'm like, it's even crazier that like, because they're not like a young person who's like, I live on the internet, but so I was like,
for people that are older, it's probably the internet's actually more tricky. I've heard.
I don't even understand what happened, and like, so I sent an email back being like, because it made me laugh so fucking hard. And and I did something I guess petty, but I don't know. I thought I was sharing in the like, the sort of experience of the doldrums of comedy, like, that you're like, I traveled to this place, I'm sitting here, and then the booker's like, I put it on the internet, and like, but I didn't email you. You should have just seen it on the internet on a page you don't follow, because we don't follow each other because we've never met, So I thought it was just very funny, and then I wrote this, like, what I thought was a funny email back, just being like, I've been doing comedy a while, and like, normally if a show's canceled, like, the booker would reach out to the person by the means that they booked them and let them know. And I don't expect that you follow me on social media, and in fact I would encourage against it, blah blah blah. But I was like, but I've never had a booker tell me that after I traveled and sat in the venue for like 45 minutes while the staff had no idea what was going on, that the show was canceled prior to the evening, and I should have found that out on social media. Like, on a night I didn't get to do stand-up comedy, you've made me laugh, so thank you. And I wake up this morning to a reply to my email, which I thought was sort of like ending, and I'm like, okay, the whatever this relationship is scorched. Fine, I don't need the show, you don't need me. I wake up this morning to a reply that essentially says the exact same thing, except they've looped in a new person. They've added a person to the email chain, and they're like, the show was canceled due to football. I sent out an email and I put it on social media. But I'm just like, still sitting here. I'm like, what is, what it did. The show never happened.
Did you check your spam?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have anything, and I'm getting all of her emails just fine. And what was weird is there was twice when I emailed her back, and I get like an immediate email back from this person that says nothing. Like it's almost like an automatic email that says nothing. I don't even get it.
Do you have the lights in this room just change colors, or is the acid kicking in? I wonder, or is it?
They do change colors.
They're slowly changing colors.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Talk about being bloody tricked into trickery, I suppose.
My point is like when I was dealing with that. First, I thought it was very funny, but then you were on the phone for a very long time, so we couldn't talk about this. So I was in my own head about it a while because I was just like, on a humane level, you could just be like, oh.
Humane after that moose story.
You're just like, oh, I'm sorry. I thought I sent out an email or I put it on social media. I figured you'd see it. Just like, at any point, like, oh, I'm sorry. Or like, I'm sorry this happened to you. Or like anything. And this is not the first time that like, I don't know if this is like a cultural thing. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I literally don't know. Even like in America, we can say I'm sorry, even if we don't fucking mean it. Like, I don't know, like to just sort of like social graces.
Are you trying to go against the whole empire here?
No, but what I'm saying is like the other instance of this would be, did we discuss this last week? Did we discuss when one of those Italians put his hands on me at a show?
I can't remember.
I can't remember. But basically, well, to give the rundown here, because I do not care. I do not care. The Italians that were scamming us out of, like, just listen back. You can hear it. You know, they were upcharging us an extortionate amount of money for a room that it was not worth.
Yeah, it was total fucking spaghetti.
Basically, the entire rent was £1,100 for the whole flat, and they were charging us $750 for the medium-sized room.
Anyway,
and
this is an analogy, anyway.
The point is we left on bad terms after I found a new person to move in. We subsidized a little bit of what their rent would be for the number they made up for what they were just basically trying to collect on friends during a pandemic. It is what it is. I ran into one of them at a show because it shocked me they're a comedian. I was hosting the show. You know, we're not on good terms. That's fine. You can work, you'd be cordial. But when he was leaving the show, this man who I was not close with to begin with, and certainly I'm not now, when he was leaving, he put his hand on my shoulder and then took his other hand and grabbed my bicep and was like, goodbye. 2 hands on my body.
Rape?
I mean, are you trying to make a joke? You can make a joke. I don't care. The thing is I'll put it this way. Like, I'm not a touchy-feely person anyway, like with my friends even. And that has nothing to do with me being assaulted. It's just who I am. And having somebody who I'm not on good terms with, who I've hugged maybe once before when we were on good terms, put 2 hands on me to say goodbye when he didn't put 2 hands on anybody else there to say thanks for the show, goodbye. It's a problem for me. So I let him know. And I said, if I see you again, you know, this is what you did. I said, when we were leaving the show, you put your hand on my shoulder, you put your other hand on my bicep to say goodbye. Never touch me again. That is what I said. I think that's pretty clear. And the only response to that is like, oh, I'm sorry if that made you uncomfortable. I won't do it again. His response to me, which, you know, it is what it is, was, you know, I'm paraphrasing here. He had felt bad that we left on such bad terms, so he was opening the message to message me, and then he sees this horrible thing I've said to him, and how bad he feels for me that I take everything as an attack, how pitiful for me, and how he feels sorry for me. And I never want to speak to this person again. I don't care. We don't need to be on the same page about this.
Drama's gay.
Drama's gay, and that's fine. And this isn't a battle that you need to go to for me. the point is if somebody doesn't want to be touched by somebody, the only response is, I'm sorry, I won't touch you again. And so I'm finding there seems to be, and this is, this podcast is called This American Irish Life. So we are talking about integrating our cultures here. And I know that's an Italian person, and I know this woman who runs that show comes from somewhere else. But there does seem to be...
This is more of a racist podcast. She just doesn't know it yet.
There does seem to be this level of like, I don't know, in America, we'll acknowledge, and we might be like, oh, I'm sorry you feel like that. But, I don't know. And here, I'm like, I don't get it. Like what? So everybody just does whatever they want. They don't have to acknowledge. I mean, it's strange to me. So maybe it's a me thing. I don't know. And I'm willing to and open to that. So anyway, I thought we were ending this on a light note.
Yeah, you made it so...
Oh, well, I know you don't like it when it's not funny, but it's also at the same time, it's real. And like everybody is real. They're having real experiences. Everything isn't always happy-go-lucky. I know that's how you deal with your trauma, and you can, but like you're dealing with a loud...
Oh, no, I'm still thinking about what you did to those mice, I suppose.
Well, why don't we say a little prayer and then see where this birthday party is?
Dear Allah, protect the mice and send their spirits back in the form of jihad. Amen.
Wow, that was not expected.
That was beautiful, I think. They call that a sonnet. No, what's the Japanese poem? A haiku. They call that a haiku.
A haiku.
They call that a haiku. Telling you. How long are we...
We're leaving.
Bye. Yeah, bye.
This